Each evening, a poor woodcutter named Ali Baba went out to gather sticks and branches for his wife. They lived simply, but happily, in a small house near the edge of the forest. His wife used the firewood to cook their meals, and they were content with what little they had. One day, Ali Baba wandered farther into the forest than usual. As he searched for fallen branches near the rocky cliffs, he suddenly heard the sound of galloping horses. Fearing danger, he quickly climbed up a tall tree and hid among the thick leaves. From there, he could see a long line of riders approaching along the dusty path. Ali Baba counted as they passed below him 1, 2, 3, until there were 40 of them. Each man was armed and carried heavy saddlebags. These must be thieves, Ali Baba thought, his heart pounding. He watched as the 40 riders stopped before a high cliff. The leader of the thieves stepped forward and shouted, "Open Sesame." To Ali Baba's astonishment, a secret door opened in the face of the rock. One by one, the thieves entered the hidden cave, carrying their bulging sacks of treasure. When the last man had gone inside, the leader cried, "Close Sesame," and the door slid shut so perfectly that no trace of it remained. Ali Baba waited silently in the tree until the thieves reappeared. When the last man came out, he again shouted, "Close Sesame," and the door closed behind him. Then the thieves mounted their horses and rode away, their laughter fading into the distance. When the forest was quiet again, Ali Baba climbed down. Trembling with excitement, he stood before the rocky cliff and said boldly, "Open Sesame." To his amazement, the rock door opened at once. Inside, a stairway led down into a cave lit by oil lamps. Piles of gold, silver, and jewels sparkled in every corner. Ali Baba's eyes widened in wonder. Though he was poor, he was not greedy. He took only one small bag of gold coins and said, "Close Sesame," before returning home. That night, Ali Baba told his wife everything. They decided to keep the secret safe and use the gold wisely. However, Ali Baba's older brother, Kassim, who was wealthy but greedy, overheard them talking. He demanded to know where the gold had come from. At last, Ali Baba told him about the cave and the magic words. The next morning, Kassim set off for the cliffs with several empty bags, eager to claim the treasure for himself. He stood before the cliff and cried, "Open Sesame." The rock door opened, and he rushed inside, filling his bags with gold and jewels. But when he was ready to leave, he realized in panic that he had forgotten the words to open the door. He shouted, "Open barley, open corn, open wheat," but nothing happened. Hours passed, and at last, the 40 thieves returned. When they entered the cave, they found Kassim trembling among their treasures. The leader raised his sword, furious that someone had discovered their secret, and struck Kassim down. That night, Kassim's wife grew worried when her husband did not return. She went to Ali Baba, weeping. Ali Baba went to the cave and found Kassim's lifeless body. With a heavy heart, he carried him home so that his family could bury him in peace. When the thieves discovered the next day that Kassim's body was missing, they knew someone else must know their secret. The leader examined the footprints and followed the trail to Ali Baba's house. "I will find a way to destroy him," the leader muttered. He returned to his men and told them his plan. The next day, they would disguise themselves as oil merchants. Each thief would hide inside a large jar, while the leader would drive the cart to Ali Baba's house, pretending to sell olive oil. When he gave the signal, the thieves would jump out and kill everyone inside. But fate was not on their side. Ali Baba's clever maid Morgiana happened to overhear the leader as he whispered his plan outside the house that night. She quickly thought of a way to save her master. Early the next morning, the thief leader arrived, driving a cart filled with 39 large oil jars and 1 real jar of olive oil. He asked Ali Baba if he could rest in the courtyard for the night, pretending to be a humble merchant. Ali Baba, unaware of the danger, welcomed him kindly and invited him to dinner. The leader agreed, secretly waiting for nightfall to signal his hidden men. Meanwhile, Morgiana quietly crept into the yard. She suspected that something was hidden in the jars, so she lifted one lid and whispered, "Is it time?" A voice from inside replied, "Not yet." Morgiana realized her suspicions were truth. The jars were filled with thieves. Quickly, she boiled a large pot of oil in the kitchen and poured it into each jar, trapping the thieves before they could attack. Then she went to the house and served the merchant a cup of wine that she had secretly mixed with sleeping powder. Soon, the leader fell unconscious. Morgiana called for help from the town guards, who came and arrested the sleeping man and his dead companions. The next morning, when Ali Baba learned what had happened, he was deeply grateful to Morgiana for saving his life. The guards took the thieves away, and peace returned to the village. Days later, Ali Baba went back to the secret cave. Standing before the cliff, he whispered the magic words one last time, "Open Sesame." The rock door opened, and he stepped inside to find the treasure still glittering beneath the lamps. But instead of taking it all, he took only enough to help his family live comfortably. Ali Baba's honesty and Morgiana's bravery brought them great fortune and respect. Morgiana later married Ali Baba's son, and together, the family lived in peace, never again disturbed by thieves or greed. And though many years passed, no one ever discovered the secret of the cave, or the words that could open it, except Ali Baba, who kept them safe until the end of his days.